Hey guys, Super Baseball Craze here, shooting a new spot, and today I'll be doing my 2014 MLB predictions video. I'll be predicting every Major League team's record, how the divisions will shake out, the playoffs, and major awards. Let's start with the AL East. I have winning the division the Boston Red Sox, again from last year. I have them going 92 and 68. They lost Jacoby Ellsbury, they lost Saltalamacchia, but they did have a great year last year. I don't think they'll be quite as good, but winning the East. Second, I have the Tampa Bay Rays at 90 and 72, competing for a wild card but not quite getting it. Still a very good team with a lot of good players. And third, I have the Baltimore Orioles at 83 and 79. Still a good team, but the AL East is a very good division, as is a lot of the AL, and I think they will be a good team but not really compete for a wild card. And fourth, I have the New York Yankees at 81 and 81. Tanaka is a great pickup, but I don't think he'll be nearly as good as he was in Japan. Japan is a lot easier, and I don't think those numbers are going to translate. And they're getting pretty old, too. In fifth, I have the Toronto Blue Jays. They do have great offense, but they don't have a lot of pitching. I don't think Dickey's going to be that good. I have them going 75 and 87. In the AL Central, winning, I have the Detroit Tigers at 95 and 67. They are a very good team. They are getting a bit up there in age, but still have great pitching staff, great offense, and are the team to beat. In second, I have the Kansas City Royals at 91 and 71, getting the second wild card. Omar Infante and Nori Aoki are great pickups for them. I think their pitching will hold up, not quite good as last year, but I think their offense will really pick it up, putting them into the playoffs. In third, I have the Cleveland Indians at 86 and 76. They didn't do a ton this offseason. They are still a good team, but I think they very much overperformed last year. I have them kind of competing for a wild card, but not quite getting there. In fourth, I have the Chicago White Sox at 79 and 83. They're a very good young talent, not quite developed beyond Chris Sale. I don't think they'll do much this year, but look for them in a couple years. The Minnesota Twins, I have them at 70 and 92 in fifth place. Not a very good team, got a lot coming in the minor leagues, but not a great team. In the AL West, winning, I have the Texas Rangers at 94 and 68. Very good team. I think Prince and Shu will make up for some of the losses with Kinsler and Nelson Cruz. I think they underperformed last year like some teams, a lot of other teams did, and I think they'll have a good year. In second, I have the Los Angeles Angels at 92 and 70, getting the first wild card. I think some of their superstars, Weaver, C.J. Wilson, Outpujols, will be better than they were last year. They had a disappointing year last year. And I think Mike Trout will continue to play like the MVP he can be. In third, I have the Oakland Athletics at 88 and 74, competing for that wild card. I think they're a good team. I think they'll fall a bit short this year. They kind of have overperformed the last couple of years on what their talent is, but still, a very good team. In fourth, I have the Seattle Mariners at 81 and 81. Cano is a very good pickup. Logan Morrison, I think, will be good. But I think below that, behind King Felix, they don't have a lot of depth. They don't have a lot of players. I think they're a very top-heavy team. I don't think they'll be that great. In fifth, I have the Houston Astros at 58 and 104. They're not good. They are very young. Behind Altuve, they don't have a lot. They have some guys coming in the future, but not a good team this year. Moving on to the NL, in the NL East, I have winning the Washington Nationals at 93 and 69. I think Strasburg will really finally have a good year, maybe compete for that Cy Young. I think Harper will really lead a good offense. I think they make the playoffs, winning the division. Right behind them at 92 and 70, I have the Atlanta Braves winning a wild card spot. They're a very good team and have a good rotation, and I think they'll have a very good year, also with a great offense. In third place, the New York Mets at 79 and 83. I think Granderson was a good pickup, and he'll really help them improve, but not quite a 500 team. I don't see the Mets doing a lot. In fourth, the Philadelphia Phillies, I have them at 72 and 90. I think they're going to have another bad year. They're just getting older. They lost Roy Oswalt and Roy Halladay to retirement. They did pick up A.J. Burnett, but I don't think he'll nearly be able to have the year he had last year. And then in last place, of course, the Miami Marlins at 61 and 101. They're not very good. They did add Saltalamacchia, but they lost Logan Morrison. Behind Jose Fernandez, there isn't a lot of superstars. They are a horrible team. In the NL Central, as much as I don't like them, I have the Cardinals winning at 94 and 68. They're a very good team. They have a very good young pitching rotation, and I think they'll really make some waves in the NL this year. In second, winning a wild card, I have the Cincinnati Reds at 91 and 69. Very good young core. I think Votto's going to perform like an MVP. I think he's going to have a monster year, and I think they'll be able to do great things. In third, I have the Pittsburgh Pirates at 88 and 74. They're a good team. They did lose A.J. Burnett, who had a very good year for them last year. I do think they also are a team that may have overperformed last year a little bit, but I think they'll be a solid team competing for a wild card, but not quite getting there. In fourth, I have the Milwaukee Brewers at 78 and 84. They have some good players: Ryan Braun, Carlos Gomez. Garza, I think, will be good, but I don't think it's nearly enough to compete. I think they'll be floating around 500 all year. In fifth, the Chicago Cubs at 66 and 96. Not a good team. They have a very good minor league system, but not the power and the bigs to really help them do a lot and compete this year. In the NL West, I have the Los Angeles Dodgers running away with it at 98 and 64. They have an incredible pitching staff with, I think, the best pitcher in baseball in Clayton Kershaw. Zach Greinke might be top 3, top 5 pitcher in baseball. And then their third starter is Hyun-Jin Ryu, who probably would be a top starter on 15 of the 30 major league teams. He is an incredible pitcher too. Their offense is also very good, but that pitching staff is incredible. I have them at 98 and 64, winning the AL West. In second place, I have the San Francisco Giants, 89 and 73. I think they did underperform a lot last year, having some struggling pitchers. I think they have a good young core, some good position players, a very good pitching staff, and I think they'll compete for a wild card, but not quite make it. I have the Arizona Diamondbacks at third at 84 and 78. They had a good offseason. They had Bronson Arroyo, Mark Trumbo, but I don't think it's going to be enough really for them to compete. I think they'll be a good team, but not quite a wild card. At fourth, I have the San Diego Padres at 76 and 86. I don't think they're a great team. They didn't really do much this offseason. I think they're going to struggle. And then in fifth place, I have the Colorado Rockies at 72 and 90. It's Tulo and Carlos Gonzalez, and I don't think there's a lot behind that. I think Drew Stubbs may be a solid pickup. They got Morneau, but I think Justin Morneau is kind of past his prime. He's kind of injury prone. I don't think they're going to do a lot. Into the playoffs, in the wild card games, the Kansas City Royals at the Los Angeles Angels. I think the Royals win that game 4-2, behind a good pitching performance from James Shields. In the NL, I have the Cincinnati Reds at the Atlanta Braves. I think the Reds win that one 3-1. I think the Braves are a good team, but I'm just picking the Reds. It's kind of a crapshoot when you get into these one-game series. In the divisional round, that leaves Detroit Tigers versus the Kansas City Royals. I like the Royals, but I don't think they're as good as the Tigers by any shot of the imagination. I think the Tigers win that series in 4. In the other game, the Texas Rangers at the Boston Red Sox. Red Sox loaded, obviously, reigning champs, but I think Texas knocks them out in 5 games. In the NL, the Los Angeles Dodgers versus the Cincinnati Reds. I have the Dodgers winning that one in 4. I just think they're an overpowering team with that pitching staff. I think they're going to be real tough to beat in the playoffs. In the other NL wildcard divisional round game, it's the St. Louis Cardinals versus the Washington Nationals. I have the Nationals winning that in 5. I think they both have good pitching staffs, but I think the Nationals, they can pitch Steven Strasburg twice. I think they win that game. In the championship round, you have the Detroit Tigers versus the Texas Rangers in the AL. I think the Tigers are the best team in the AL. I think they win that series in 6. In the NL, the Los Angeles Dodgers versus the Washington Nationals. The Dodgers in 5 I have winning that game. Again, they have a great pitching staff, and I think they're going to be impossible to beat. And then in the World Series, it leaves the Detroit Tigers versus Los Angeles Dodgers. Both great teams, great pitching staffs, and pitching really does win in the playoffs. And I think the Dodgers do have the better pitching. I have the Dodgers winning the World Series, winning in 6 games. On to major awards. I have for the MVP, Mike Trout in the AL of the Angels. I think he'll have a monster season, finally beating out Cabrera for that award. I think Cabrera won't quite be as good as he had the last couple of years. It's really tough to repeat that a 3rd time in a row for Cabrera. In the NL, I have Joey Votto having a breakout year at the Reds. I think he'll hit .310, finally get that 30 home run season under his belt, and get 100 RBIs. He's very capable. I think he's a great player. For the Cy Youngs, in the AL, I have Yu Darvish of the Texas Rangers. I think he'll win 20 games, have an ERA around 2 on a very good Texas team, and I think he gets the job done there. In the NL, I have Clayton Kershaw. I think he's far and away the best pitcher in baseball. I think he'll have an ERA under 1.9. He's going to be a great pitcher there in Los Angeles. The Rookie of the Year in the AL, I have Xavier Bogart of the Boston Red Sox, the shortstop. I think he'll have a good first year. 15-ish home runs, doesn't have all the power you might want, but I think he'll hit over 300 and have a very good season. In the NL, I have Oscar DeFerris of the Cardinals. Now this guy doesn't have a ton of that pop that you might think a guy winning the Rookie of the Year does. I think he'll hit around 10 home runs, maybe a 310 average, very good average hitter. He's a very good player. In the Manager of the Year race, I have in the AL, Ron Washington, the Texas Rangers. I think he'll take them to division. I don't think a lot of people are picking Texas this year. Texas is a good team, but it's a very tough division. I think he gets it, leading them to a very successful year. And finally, the NL Manager of the Year. I think Don Manley of the Dodgers does that. I don't see a team that will be a surprise team in the NL. There generally is a surprise team here and there, but I'm not seeing that this year. I think he's just going to take the NL by storm and really overpower the league. Thank you for watching the video. If you have anything you disagree with from me, go ahead and tell me below anything you agree with. Any other predictions you might want me to make, I'll be happy to answer your comments. Anyways, thanks guys for watching. Bye!